Hello. Good morning, everyone. I am Stephanie Van Vark, and I am a small business owner. My company is Stephanie Creates, and welcome back to Just Talking Business. So today, I'm talking to a food truck owner, which is, again, one of those businesses I've been highly impressed with, but also highly confused by. And so we're going to get some answers today. We're talking to Chef Tywanda Dupont, Chef Ty. And without further ado, let's bring her on. Hi, Chef Ty. How are you?
My name is Chef Tywanda Dupont, and I'm happy to be here with you this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. And thank you for letting us ask you all these interesting questions about the food truck business.
I'm happy to answer them. It may help somebody else.
Good. Now tell us who you are and what you do. You shared your name, but what is the name of your business and what you do?
The name of my business is Ty's Hometown Cafe and Bistro. It's actually brunch on wheels. So I specialize in brunch, and I also specialize in catering and private events.
Okay,
So
so let's tap into that because I read that on your bio that you specialize in brunch. And I find that very interesting because, with food trucks, as I understand how they operate, is they're mobile. So they appear at locations and spots, but you're just brunch. So how does that work? Is that based on events where you set up, or do you have sort of a methodology when it comes to where you want your trucks to be?
okay, so actually, how I get business with Brunch Truck basically is word of mouth. People hear about me, they hear about the food, and I actually won this truck in a contest. I went to Miami-Dade, and I was sponsored by Nana Circle of Brothers. So it was a competition that went on with 30 chefs, and we had to enter for a 14-week period for schooling to find out about being an entrepreneur, what is like owning your own food truck, self-improvement, and also we went through the process of basically technology of if you win this food truck, how would you maintain it and balance out books, so forth. So I went to school actually in hopes of winning this truck, and I did. It was top 3 people, and I was one of the first ones to win, and it's 2 other winners. So yes.
So did you win the truck or did you win the money to buy the truck, or they already had the truck tricked out for you?
You actually won the truck itself.
Wow.
So I was one of the ones that won it. And how I specialize with my truck, I just find events that want brunch, or I
Okay.
may that contact me that may say, hey, I heard your food is so good, I just want to introduce it to a new clientele. It may be a motorcycle show.
Okay.
I go all over. It's wherever I'm called, wherever I'm needed, and then I find my own spots
Events
I
to
go to
show
that
up.
requires brunch.
So okay, so a brick and mortar restaurant has, as I understand it, a lot of operational expenses
Mhm.
and challenges. Would that be the same for a food truck? Are you looking at some of those same types of challenges, or
You You are in a way, because you have to realize you have to maintain that truck. That means all change. You're doing your gassing up every week. You're doing your propane tanks. Anything happen mechanically on that truck, you're responsible for it. So it actually can run you. You have to get tires. So it's basically like a restaurant on wheels, basically. It
mm-hmm,
can overhead of lights,
mm-hmm.
100 employees or 50 employees. But it's still the same thing. You still have to hire employees to come work with you. You still need that support. You need a cashier. You need a line cook. So
Mm-hmm.
it's giving you the same feel as if you were in a restaurant. Because actually, I would love a brick and mortar. I'm ready for that challenge. I think I would be amazing at a brick and mortar because you're preparing food. It's like love for me. I love what I do. It's like home.
Mm-hmm.
In
Mm-hmm.
a space where you can offer these variety of foods and not be limited to what you can offer, because I'm limited on a food truck.
So, do you think a food truck business is sort of an intro or stepping stone to a brick and mortar opportunity? I
For
lost your sound. Okay.
Absolutely. I think that we should crawl before we walk, because there's nothing wrong with wanting a brick and mortar, but you have to also know how you're going to maintain that and handle it. What experience do you have? What background do you have? What
Mhm.
education? Where did you put yourself at in that bracket to succeed and to stand out, above all the others that's doing the same thing that you're doing? So
How
for
long
me,
have you been in business?
I started off actually as a baker, and that's in my bio as well. I
Yeah, I
started
saw that. Yeah.
self-trained. Went on YouTube one day, got a part-time, wanted to know the ins and out about cakes. I trained myself to do fondant cakes, and I started working with different celebrities such as Big Angie. Miami Monkey was her first grand opening. Pink Teacup. They
Mhm.
had a VH1 show out. Um, Trina, Rick Ross, Po Boys,
Mhm.
Don Julio. I just started doing a plethora of cakes for everybody. So I was known as the cake lady.
Mhm.
So then I transitioned because I used to cook for my kids every day, except on Fridays we eat out. So I
Mhm.
specializing in different foods, playing with it. I got creative at it, and the sky was the limit for me. So I just took on catering jobs. Okay, it went from cakes to catering. So that's why I'm both brunch.
Okay. 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 Now, I noticed in your bio, you did say self-trained, and
Mhm.
then I noticed that you went back to get some certifications and that you are continuing your education. Have you found, in the city, we're in Miami, chefs are, kind of celebrities in and of themselves. Have you found that it is beneficial for you to get a certain level of education in order to advance in your career? Or do you feel like being self taught is sufficient? This is just extra knowledge for you.
No, I think that you should further your education because the more you know about the business, the more that you are in tune with it, the better you have the advantage to actually just incline and expose yourself to different things. I went to culinary school after winning my truck. They offered me a program at Miami-Dade and
Mm-hmm.
the culinary position. I took the culinary classes. Just to get more experience and to have more knowledge and to have that paperwork because you have to identify, I'm passionate about this. So if you're so passionate about it, why not go get further education that can help you
Mm-hmm.
further on in life? Because these credentials are majorly important in the food industry. I would suggest anybody go back to school to, even if they go for a 6-week course or a certification, I would suggest it because the more knowledge you have on what you are doing, you can expand better. You can, just breathe about it. And most people they ask for credentials. Do you have your surf safe? Do you have your restaurant license? Have you been to culinary school? That puts you above others. And I don't knock those who are self trained because it takes a lot of work to
Mm-hmm.
apply yourself to teach
Mm-hmm.
yourself little tedious things, especially when it comes to cakes and food. You don't know it. But I grew
Right.
up in a household with Southern food, and my mom cooked, and my mother-in-law owned a restaurant. So I've been around this all my life. Fashion, this
Oh,
just niche.
okay. So it's just next level for you, actually, just getting into the family business, I
Absolutely.
guess. So, well, then, and well, let me ask you, when did you get your food truck? Let me backtrack.
I actually got my food truck. I was awarded it last year, December, around before the new year. We got the phone call that we had one of the trucks they wanted us to come in.
So it's almost a year.
Yeah, it's almost a year.
Wow, congratulations,
Yeah.
congratulations. So so this is what I find interesting as well. Food trucks kind of came on the scene fairly recently.
Mhm.
That wasn't anything that we've seen for decades and decades. It's really kind of been around, fairly decently. I like the fact that it did allow people who might not have been able to open a restaurant to be able to do so in a manner that was a little less expensive, I guess, than having a brick and mortar, but
Oh,
to get them going. I thought that was very interesting. So as a result, as I was reading, it's really a $2.5 billion industry. That is crazy. So, talk me through the pandemic. Were food trucks, and this is, I just, as I'm thinking about it, I don't recall going anywhere where I saw a lot of true food trucks out. How did it impact your business or businesses of those you knew?
actually, food trucks started popping when COVID came because now we're not able to interact with each other. You can't go sit down at a restaurant. You
Right.
can't call family and friends over. You're actually, on a I see you, but we're gonna put 6 feet between you. So therefore, food trucks started being very popular. People started, get going from restaurants into food trucks because now it's mobile, no contact. I drop it off to the window. You put a mask on. I put a mask on. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what became popular. But they have been around because I've been manifesting a food truck for almost 5 years now, and I said I'm gonna.
Mm-hmm.
And now here I am in the middle of a pandemic,
Right,
which
right, right, right.
or because that still give us entrepreneurs an opportunity to be seen and heard, to
Mm-hmm.
actually still create our craft, to still put it out to the world that hey, we're still here, we're still willing to put forth that effort. So I think when the pandemic came, it affected a lot of business and had people to draw back to a food truck. And now
Okay.
it's become so much popular and so much demand because now they're everywhere. They're popping up at big events. They're popping up at your home. They're popping up at your special occasions. They're popping up at your parties. So I would say that this is a big deal right now. Food trucks are majorly a big deal right now.
Or do you feel like social media, because I know when food trucks first became a thing, social media was the best way of marketing. Do you feel like that's still the case, or is it more word of mouth now that's really driving?
I think it could be both right now because I get a certain clientele off social media, but I also get a lot of word of mouth off what my food tastes like. Word of mouth is everything for me. I think that's old. You know how your grandma say old school, take it back, take some flyers, pass them out. And that's what
Right.
it like prior to me opening up my food truck, we went around to local businesses. Can we leave a flyer here? Can we put this on your desk? Can you tell people about our restaurant? Can you tell them we're going to be centrally located? We're supposed to have been in Brightline, but we're just waiting on some permits right now for parking. So that was supposed to be our station area for the first year, that
Mm-hmm.
contract. So I would tell anybody, if you have a dream for it, apply yourself. Sky is the limit. Pray and keep pushing.
Now, when you say you're going to be in Brightline, which is not far from me, by the way, so good. Um, Meaning you will go into a brick and mortar space, or there's going to be a location for food trucks.
They're gonna actually have us outside on the sidewalk park.
Mhm.
So you park there every day. Your hours could be Monday through Thursday. You're off on Sunday and Monday. However it works for you. But that was our station when we won the competition. That was part of our package that we was
Oh,
at first year. But we're just waiting on parking permits right now.
that's a very, I mean, y'all
Mhm.
got a really good deal, if I should say so myself.
It's amazing.
That's a really good deal. I don't think I've heard anything as good as that. Um, so, why did you decide to only do brunch?
I decided to only do brunch because when I started cooking, my kids, my son, my daughters, they just loved it. It's like I created this French toast and it was like, this is amazing.
Hmm.
So I used to give it to them, every Sunday I'll do brunch with them. Like,
Okay.
what try new? Is it something different? So it became a love for me, like, because I love it so much, they enjoyed it.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
what? Lunch is my favorite part of the day. Breakfast is my kids' favorite part of the day. So why not mix them together and
Together. Okay.
decided to go with brunch. And right now, I'm actually the only brunch truck in Miami, Florida on wheels.
I gotta say that was what intrigued me because I've never seen a brunch truck.
Hmm.
Again, I won't say that I've been searching for one either, but I've just
Yeah.
never seen a brunch truck. So I thought that was very interesting as well.
Yes.
Who do you consider your competition? I mean, we just talked about you don't have any competition in terms of what you're serving. So who would be your competition?
It would be myself, to be honest with you. I'm my own competition because I have to beat me every day, mentally, emotionally, just to go ahead and pull through this. So I'm
Hmm.
competition. I have to battle that part of me that wants me to keep going, keep pushing when days are not good, or when days are not, the best, or you don't make the most money, or you don't know where the next supply is going to come in at. So I'm my own competition right now.
So do you consider that you break even? Again, I'm not looking for dollars and cents, but do you consider that you break even with your business, or are you starting to see a bit of a profit as you are growing and becoming a little bit more well known?
I think right now is the first year is going to be tough for any business that
Yeah,
you go.
absolutely.
I have to be honest with anybody that will see this or watch this or may want to. Your first year is going to be the hardest. It's going to take a lot of discipline, a lot of cutting back on a lot of things, and a lot of work. You're going to put more work in than you make money, to be honest with you, because you're
Mm,
going to things that come up that you're not expecting. This is
right.
your food truck. You didn't go to book and say every day is going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. You didn't get that. So I'm going to give it to you the good, and I'm going to give you the okay because it's not
Right.
bad.
Right.
You have to remember, you're blessed because you have this opportunity. So you never say I can't and I won't. It can be done, but you have to apply yourself.
Hmm.
Also, you have to stay focused, and you do have up and down days. I cannot tell you you won't. It's some days you may come home with $2.
Wait,
All a day, you may come.
wait. That's just not a food truck. That's every entrepreneur.
That there you go.
Payroll, you're looking going, I
Then
gotta be able to get it this week.
have those days where you're rewarded, and it's like, okay. to see this.
At this point, if I could just get a chocolate bar, I'm doing pretty good. So, but as you talk to your, I mean, do you have a mentor in this business? Because, again,
Okay, I'm looking for a mentor. I've been chasing this lady from the entrepreneurship program we went to. And
okay,
I'm looking for the young lady there. I've been trying to call her. So I am interested in getting a mentor because, like you say, educating myself a little bit more.
right, right.
Book that day. He has an amazing book. I will say everybody read it. It is amazing.
Who?
Damon, the
Oh, okay, okay. His book is great.
oh my God, his book is amazing. I actually really love it. It kind of motivated me a little bit more. That's why I say learning is everything. Even if you read up on somebody else's story, it may, relate to you a little bit. You may get something from it. And I took a lot from that book.
And
So
by the way, she and I met at a program that Chase was putting on, introducing their new um, business program to support Black businesses, and Damon John was there. So that's how we got it.
yes, that's how we met. It was
That's
amazing.
it.
Beautiful person, beautiful spirit. It was amazing just talking to you as well. When you told me I was intrigued. I'm like, okay, Black business owner, television. I'm about
Thank you.
and I,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, okay, so let's talk to me like I'm about to buy a food truck. And by the way, I am not, because I'm an okay cook for me. I do pretty good for me, but I don't think that's something I would promote.
I
You're like, why'd you tell her to do that? What? So every day, I'm assuming there has to be, or have you had to look at your strategic plan to develop your business over the course of a year? What would you say to me about really trying to develop a strong strategic plan to ensure I'm working my way toward success? What were some of the things you had to learn, and what were some of the things, both in the classroom, in the certification, and as you've gone along? What are some of the things that you had to learn to really build a strong strategy?
okay. So some of the things I learned first off was self-improvement. How to, communicate and be better with your audience, your customers, just people around.
Mm-hmm.
I would say next, educate yourself on your marketing strategy. Make sure you have a business plan that actually planned out goals, where you see yourself at in the next year, where you see yourself at in the next 5 years. And I would say expand it to the 5 year plan, because that first year, you're going to meet that goal. That second year, you should meet that goal. So
Mm-hmm.
that you get to where you need to be. And say that second year, you may actually get what you want if you work hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
going to times when you have to sacrifice your time, your family, your friends, just to take out time to invest in you.
Okay. Okay.
You want this food truck, it's going to cost you, say, $65,000 to get this food truck. If somebody, you have to go to a bank, they're going to expect a business plan. Where do we plan to put this money at? How can we invest in you and trust you with our funds? So you have to have that on black and white piece of paper, set it in front of them, let them know your goals, where you see yourself at in the first year, break down your strategies, your marketing plan, where you see your cost of goods at, how you see it growing from that year to the next year. So that's investing in yourself, because now you're getting somebody to trust you with their funds to be able to provide these things that you would like.
Mm-hmm.
And the next step I would say is prayer. I'm going to say prayer all day. I'm beginning of it for me.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
wake up, pray about it. And that's what kept me strong. And just apply yourself. Educate yourself on what food truck market is,
Mm-hmm.
what
Mm-hmm.
competition, who's selling what in the market for what pricing.
Mm.
Really have to expand your mind to be bigger and think bolder, because it's always somebody a step ahead of you. And if you don't know it, I suggest you read about it or go find somebody and ask about it. Now, for me, my next step, bank accounts,
Right.
your business name, make sure everything is in order. Your LLC has to be in order.
Mm-hmm.
But that is together, all your certifications, your license, your food and safety. That's a course you have to take. So I'm gonna tell y'all about this course. Food and safety is a certification you have to have, just like if you use a nurse or a doctor. Same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It applies for you for 5 years. Once that 5 years over, you have to renew that license. That lets people know that you are safe, serve ready. You're prepared to serve food. You
Mm-hmm.
know what meat's supposed to be at. It's just a plethora of things that you need to know. So I would say look into ServeSafe if you're looking into owning a food truck. Find out what classes are out there for you, what opportunities are out there that can help you
Mhm.
expand your business. If you don't know, I personally took a walk on 17 and 3rd Avenue to all the local restaurants when I first started
Mhm.
out before I even knew about a food truck. And
Right.
how did you get here? Do you mind explaining it to me? Where office can I go to receive the same help that you receive? Don't be afraid to ask for help.
So you tap on something though, regulations. You're right. In the food industry, there's a lot of regulations.
There
Are
are
the regulations as stringent for a food truck as they are for a restaurant? Is the exact same thing?
just about.
Okay.
Have the overhead. You don't have the overhead of the light bills and the responsibility of say 20, employees. On a food truck, you only could really have three. You have somebody at the front desk, you have somebody on your back end to help the chef. That's
Oh,
going to get on the truck because there's a limited amount of space. Now, when you're saying a restaurant, you expand it to something big.
right.
You're
Right.
responsible for everybody that walks in their door. Violations of rights, food and safety, building inspections. I mean, you have a list that goes beyond. So it is more tedious than a food truck.
And I would imagine also there's got to be some insurances that you have to secure for your business, which is yet another expense
You absolutely do.
people don't consider. And are those things that inspectors would look for and expect
Yeah.
um, when they're looking at your business?
So now that you tapped in, and I'm glad you said that because even on your food truck, you have fire extinguishers that need to be updated. You have your hood that has to be updated with everything that you need there. So you can get fined for all these things, and they run you out. Say your tank's gonna run you about $200 to $300 to refill your tanks. To actually get a new fire extinguisher, that run you about 138. So you have month to month and year to year bills, and it does come around really quickly when it comes to the tires on your car. That's every six.
Mm-hmm.
Normally that's wear and tear. You're riding all day on those tires. You have your engine, you have your all, you have
Thought about that.
things with a normal car.
Right. And what when you do updates of those types of things, I would imagine that's more annually, but still you need to build into your budget.
Absolutely, just in case you have a flat tire.
Correct.
They
Correct. Correct.
my crankshaft went out. I had to refix that. So you
Okay.
have to realize these are things that we wasn't expecting, but it happens. It's a car. It's wear and tear.
Right. Right.
Also, vendor fees. Nobody tells you about vendor fees.
And
Yeah,
what is that exactly?
some of the local locations may be Carnival. See how Carnival may have it, or Jazz in the Gardens. These
Uh-huh.
are big events, so they're going to be vendor fees for you to apply.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that, and
Mm-hmm.
people don't put that in their budget because coming into a new business, you don't know you have vendor fees. This is something new as you go. So when
Mm-hmm.
people contacting you, where's the vendor fee? Well, what is the vendor fee? Now you're learning. So I want to tell
Mm-hmm.
new entrepreneurs, even on food trucks, if you don't have a steady location, vendor fees do apply. You have to put that in your budget.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
have to say, okay, at least I'm going to put say $3,000 away for the whole month for maybe vendor fees because some vendor fees vary. It could be 100, it could be 2,000, it could be 700, it could be 800. But you have to have that before you apply for the vendors, and everything has to be up to par.
And that means you definitely have to strategize about maybe what events you want to go to over
Ab-
the course of a year
ab-
and really understand what that vendor fee might look like.
Yes, and if it's going to benefit you or benefit because sometimes I do jobs because I know that it will help somebody. Like if I feed the homeless, I know that's food that I want to offer you. That's not something that
Affirmation. Mm-hmm.
that's just something I go over town and I do. I feed
Mm-hmm.
them. I get on the food truck. Hey, can I offer you this food? I pack it and give it away.
Okay. Okay.
That's I try to do it once a month. Moving forward, they have to know that once you get there, you have COI forms. Those are forms that you basically have to have for insurance. Like you say, insurance is a very big role.
Right.
So those forms has to be put in as well, and you have to put that in your budget. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
kind of vary. You just have to manage your money well, and you have to manage your business and know what jobs to take and what jobs not to take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
It's going to be worth the investment.
absolutely,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
volunteer mental health day. I did that because it was a part of me. I wanted to, help that organization.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a give and take. Everything don't have to be paid for, and you can give something back to the community because sometimes they need it.
Right.
So
And it's just a matter of choosing what those priorities are. You shouldn't give to everything. But if there's something that's, like you said, near and dear to your heart, then that's where you're sharing a little bit of yourself. Hmm. Hmm. So, okay, so you said something interesting actually in the email that I want to probe a little bit more. And I want to probe it just because it is my struggle, and anybody who's listened to me knows this is my struggle. I have the hardest time understanding my schedule and or trying to plan a schedule. And you said in your email you try to pledge your schedule weeks at a time.
I,
Talk to me what that looks like. Like, is that um you know, when you are looking at your weeks at a time, you're looking at vendor opportunities, you're looking at where you're going to be located, or how do you talk through, managing your days in that week?
yes, that's tough because what I did, I went and brought a board, and I write down. I have a calendar, and I write down every event. So I schedule them out throughout my week. Like if I know I have to hit my goal on Friday to be at this amount of money, I know I need to take, say, maybe 2 jobs here this week. Then I have to plan a day so I could do billing and invoices and itemize everything, making sure that, my product is up to date. I have enough to go out for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of schedule my days out like 3 to 4 things throughout the week and then 2 events on the weekend. And then I'll skip a weekend.
Okay. Okay.
Plan.
So you spend time with your family.
So I
Okay.
take the time out to plan it out, and then if I want to do like the talk show with you, I say, okay, I have Wednesday and Thursday available. Maybe we could fit it in here, but I still budget in that day. I still do phone calls and emails that day. The days I have off, I schedule just for emails, phone calls, or if I want to speak with someone via email, if they have any questions, I reach back out to my customers. And then you have the days where I take the truck out. I schedule those days, say Monday and Tuesday back to back. Wednesday, I'm going to take a day off to go ahead and get everything in order for Friday,
Mhm.
Saturday, Sunday. So I have a schedule, calendar, and I have a billboard on my wall, and I schedule everything out. What time I need to be there.
And the truck is based on where you want to be, and then you build everything else around it.
I build everything else around it.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That is legitimately a very a good question because I have been asking every woman I know, how are you making this happen? So I'm
Build
just trying to get feedback to see what'll work.
right now, Chef. I'm the finance person of my business. Um,
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
does my Instagram, and she's really good. Her name is Prima. She's amazing. I can't do all of it, but I cook by myself. If I cater, it's on my own. I just get help on the truck. I load it all up. Then
Hmm.
bring my family in. Let's serve it. So it's a lot, but if you schedule it out, because I used to have anxiety at first when I first started. I have to give it to you honestly. I wasn't always a planner. I wasn't always an organizer. But once life hit me and I saw that I had to take this responsibility head on, I had to
Hmm.
find out what works for Ty. So it
Right.
was scheduling everything and letting it work around me because if not, it was working me.
Okay. Oh,
So
exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
burnt out and I'm like, you know what? I have to pace myself and find out a routine that works for me.
And it all evolves too. It adjusts and shifts according to what's happening in the market and what's happening in your experience. So for sure, for sure. But thank you for the advice. I'm definitely taking it in. Where are some of your preferred locations? And do you ever really hear some of the feedback from your customers to kind of let you know you're going on the right track?
Yes, I do. I actually post the comments on my Instagram. I love when people give me feedback because they let me know where I need to improve or if they're just really loving it. And
Mhm.
the feedback has been really good. I'm proud of my I can honestly say I am proud of myself because I try to give the best of I'm not gonna eat it, I won't give it to you. I love what I do. I breathe it. I enjoy it. When people come to my truck and say I'm happy, this food is amazing. It's my heart that get happy. It's my
Good, good.
heart.
Good, good, good. And where are some of your preferred locations? Where are some of the locations you find you get that kind of
I actually like the colleges. I've been doing college and church event for New Shallow. Oh my God, when New Shallow calls me out, I love their family, their church. They are so amazing. and I like doing special events when it comes to kids. I
Okay.
love when I get hired for middle schools or high schools. They are the best. Colleges like FAMU. Right now, I'm going to be at Dash
Okay.
District Art District next week, and to traveling. I love my travel jobs. I go to Orlando next week, so I'm in between a lot of different jobs.
I don't hear you. I
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I can say what they said that- but you said you went to FAMU. That's in Tallahassee. That's a
I'm
drive.
sorry. Florida Memorial.
I was like, you traveling to Tallahassee? You talking about an extra expense?
I mean, Flomo. My bad. I apologize. Flomo. I did Flomo College for their African Dance Heritage Weekend, and it was amazing. You got to meet so many amazing people there.
Good. What about your target market? So definitely your target market, if I understand it correctly, is definitely going to be a younger audience, maybe just based on its colleges and churches, or is there someone you specifically want to always be have access to your food?
I actually want to become a travel chef. For it could be for people that just need somebody to come in and travel with them, or celebrities. Any, I would take it. I love traveling to go do these jobs because
Interesting.
the most intimate part. It's like owning a restaurant. You can cook all these amazing dishes,
Mm-hmm.
set them in front of the people, and let them have options and choices of what they want. So for me, my dream job would be actually traveling. I'm being a traveling chef,
There
traveling,
you
traveling for local families that may need me to come in for a week and cook for their families,
go. Mhm.
family events. So that's my target market right now until I, expand into a brick and mortar. In my food truck, I just go to like all of the carnival events right now. So I would say the food truck is like a fun thing. Most people want you to pull up for birthday parties, special occasions. You get a lot of um, like festival events
Right. Okay.
with
Okay.
the truck. But then on my catering end, I get a lot of say Miami-Dade correctional facilities.
Okay.
You know, so it kind of varies. It
Okay.
varies. I take them all. I don't leave no job on the table.
So not right now when we need to make money, and I understand exactly what you mean.
Yes.
So you looked at a 5 year plan. Your first year, as I hear it, is going very well,
Mhm.
and that you're really getting a handle on what you can bring to the table. Um, what's next? I mean, where do you go from here? Um, the big picture plan in 5 years, if I understand it correctly, is both brick and mortar and traveling chef.
Absolutely.
Is that possible? And you know how what's the sky? What's the limit based on your strategy?
The sky's the limit. You can, I think whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. Because right now, I'm doing a food truck. I still do my catering, and I still offer traveling. I'm doing it all right now.
Okay.
This week I have two catering jobs. Next, this weekend I have a pull up job, and then the following week I'm in Orlando doing a company Jack and Jill.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't limit myself to what I can do. I just actually plan. I
Okay.
plan if I want to take a catering job this week, I'm going to take three catering jobs this week. I'm going to pull my truck out on the weekend.
Okay.
You have to play with it. And then if you want to travel 1 week, take a week off and travel.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it makes sense. So you
So okay, cool. That's very cool. I had another question just that fast. I forgot what it is. I think I've asked all the questions. Are there any final words you want to share with someone who might be looking into this business? And then before you go, we want to find out how we can find you, especially me because I love brunch. So I might see you soon.
put a brunch t-shirt line, everybody. And I also have these cups available. If you're going to see them pop up everywhere.
Okay, cool.
So when you go to brunch, make sure you wear one of my t-shirts. I'm going to give you one actually.
Okay, cool. I love that. I love that.
Um, what I would give you advice is to educate yourself. They have books out there that's on first time food truck owners.
Hmm.
I was gifted that book by one of my friends. It was an excellent book. It's called How to Become a Food Truck Owner.
Okay. Okay.
Um, School, if they offering programs for you to go back to culinary school, get your education in that and just start moving towards getting your license first because all of that is going to be needed prior to even establishing a food truck business. So look into the different licenses you need, your LBT license, your Sunbiz, get your LLC going now. Don't wait. You don't have to be open to say I'm gonna get an LLC. At least your business will be functioning.
When you're ready to get started.
hmm And just
And
basically,
that's for any business, by the way, not just a food truck.
I,
You definitely need to do the same for every business.
you're in order.
Yes.
Don't have to do anything. Do it the correct way so your paperwork is in order. So they have grants out here now that's available for first time businesses. I'm looking into things like that. Mentor, as we spoke about earlier,
Hmm.
for that you can get with that can direct you in the right path. Find somebody who owns a food truck. Come on my food truck, y'all. I'm willing to have you all come on. What a food truck is like. I'm opening my door for you to come on and experience it, because who's gonna give you a chance? If somebody can do it, I'll do it.
Exactly. Very cool. Very cool. So how can we find you?
You can find me actually right now Instagram. I post
Okay.
and I go to I post it throughout the week, so you can find me located where I'm gonna be. I don't know where I'm gonna be right now. It's like freelancing. So
Okay.
to every event that will have me, and then hopefully we know something soon with Brightline. So my ultimate station would be Brightline Station, downtown Miami, guys. I'll be there Monday through Saturday, like clockwork. But I have to let you know when I'll be there. But for now, I'm just everywhere. Just find me on Instagram at Ty's Hometown Cafe and Bistro, Brunch on Wheels. You can find me there, my locations, where I'm going to be at, so forth. And if you need me, pick up the phone and call.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
When I heard you own a food truck, and it's so funny because, you know, I guess I've known people who've known a food truck, but
Mhm.
I just, it never really hit me until I was talking to you. I was like, hey, that is like a real business. And I would imagine in some cases a trickier business, just because you really have to put yourself in the right place, in the right space at all times, be able
Absolutely.
to generate revenue.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I think that's very impressive. And I will be looking for you because, as I shared, you actually are not far from me. You are literally going to be within walking distance of me.
Yeah.
I love brunch. So,
So
I'll
come
be seeing you
check it
soon.
out. You have to check out the French toast. That's what I specialize in, you all. Extreme French toast with a twist, and they come in different flavors. But you have to come to the truck to check it out.
Okay. Okay. We'll see you soon then. Thank
Hey,
you so much for agreeing to do this.
thank you. No problem. Nice seeing you and meeting you.
Have a good day.
You too.
So, thank you everyone for tuning in. I told you, as always, I always have business owners on that are phenomenal, and that are definitely educators, in telling you how you could move your business forward. And you absolutely, definitely heard someone that was able to help educate you, especially if you're trying to get into this industry and you're not necessarily ready right now, to move forward. Um, into owning your own restaurant. Well, I thank you for joining me again. Check us out next time and see you when we'll just be talking business. Have a great day.